like a geezer.
Out of the night, when the full moon is bright, comes a horse that known as Zorro.
I forgot it ended that abruptly. Welcome everybody. You're watching, it's getting hot in here. You're watching Graybeards Studio. This is episode 99, which means next week is episode 100. Should be a big gala event. So anyway, let me bring in who we've got here. David can't make it this week, and I do want to say this up front that those of you who are Christians in the audience or praying people in the audience, send prayers to David and his family right now, and that's about all. We'll get into that, but just keep them in your prayers. We appreciate it very much. And let's bring in the gang as it stands today. Gary lucks out because now he gets to come in first. Hello, Gary. Welcome.
Just wanted to let you know, Aaron, that sad news for a friend of mine. He forgot his laptop on his bathroom floor, and his grandmother thought it was a scale, i.e., she weighs $950.
Oh, my goodness. Here's a guy that I think weighs more than $950. It's Dangerous Dan Lawless.
That might be the worst joke I've ever heard.
It was bad. I couldn't get
it just
to
fell like a lead balloon, man.
And well, you're expecting that audience laugh track, and there isn't one. And I wasn't quick enough to do this. There we go. That was for you, Gary. Okay, so I don't know if you guys. Who's your internet provider?
Well, because one of the evil corporations.
I've been having weird trouble. I sent. I contacted Coran Kaiser Stone to come on to fill David's slot today because David won't be joining us, and he said, "Yeah, I'll do it, man." And so I sent him the link and everything, and I was like, "Why isn't he here?" And I went to Instagram to check, and I posted the link, but it didn't show up. Like it didn't go through, and I didn't know that. So I just, just quickly going, "If you're there, man, come on." So anyway, hopefully it'll show up. If he doesn't, it's the three of us, and you guys are just going to have to live with that tragedy. So anyway,
Aaron, you and I have to do some killer drawings then.
I know we're drawing for 3 today.
We got to draw an extra figure. You got to have at least 2 figures on the page.
Well, I'm going to go. Dude, I am going way left field on this one, but I'll tell you in a minute.
I was going to say with this, smaller art pool, I have less artists to mock.
That's right, Gary. Gary can't spread his jokes out and his insults over 3 people.
We're going to get the whole brunt of it. All right.
Yeah. Well, if we stall long enough, maybe Coran will check his thing and go, "Oh, okay." So anyway, I don't have his phone number, so I can't call him. I just, okay, let's see who's here. Repairman Jack says first, woot woot. Unhinged said, or am I first? Time travel. Barb, no, this is interesting. Barb Rogers, also known as Ms. Solar Terror, sent us a $5 super sticker. Now, I just discovered this recently. You'll notice that the super sticker doesn't appear here. It's like, what's the deal? But if you're watching this on YouTube, it shows up. So it's like a little red panda with a, like a Karate Kid, bandana on throwing punches. So I don't know why it doesn't show up here, but it doesn't. But thank you, Barb. We appreciate it. Corum says, not so little Lulu. Little Lulu's Harvey, isn't it, Gary?
I see Barb Rogers' thing in the chat. You can't see it in the comments?
No. So you're seeing it in yours?
Yes.
I'm
It's
not
highlighted
seeing
as blue.
Yeah, but do you get the little panda that's punching?
Oh, no. I just
Yeah,
see
see,
that.
that's the sticker that she sent.
Oh, okay.
So I see the message, but I don't get the little sticker.
Okay.
That's what it is. Past Master Dan, I was first as I posted a link last night, but the chat reset itself. But there's no way to prove that, is there? So Moromi is here. He says, is this the Shelby episode? No. But I'm kind of wishing it was now if I'd invited him.
Yeah. Need you ask?
You know, I'm going to do, I say this all the time and I never do it because let's just face it, I'm busy. Okay. I'm a busy dude, but I got to invite more people. we got to have more guest appearances. So
people don't realize how we're just scrambling. Every week I barely get here. Barely get stuff together.
Yeah. Aaron, you need a deeper bench.
I do. I'm starting to look like the Democrat Party right now. I just got nothing. Daniel Russell. Now this, I'm a little insulted by this. Hell, we are lucky if Aaron shows up anymore for these shows. I'm here for every one of these shows. Are you kidding me? Why would you even say something like Daniel? You know what you're getting. Hang on a second, Dan. Hang on. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say
pretty early in the show to be.
I don't know if Kamala can draw or not, but she's available.
That talk about a weak bench. Wow.
Yeah.
Stealth X5 says, "Hail, Henry Bemis. He knows his stuff. Didn't Dell publish 4-color? 1,300 issues. There are so many options in that title alone. Movie adaptations, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Hercules, which featured very early John Buscema work, Helen of Troy, which also featured John Buscema work in the book. So a lot of just endless possibilities. Creative Face says, I hope you have fun with the topic. Yeah, so do we. We'll see. Randy Howell, all the way from Canada. He says, in his day, Dell was bigger than all the other publishers. There's truth in that.
Yeah.
Dell ruled the roost. I don't know. Yeah. I wonder if licensing got so expensive they just said, we're not doing this.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened to them because they had an empire.
Yeah, and everything was licensed. Everything they were doing was licensed. And
was
maybe
it some of it? Was some of it the downfall of the Western? Because they were heavily into the Westerns, right? Lone Ranger and lots of guys.
Yeah,
like
but it was all TV properties. You know, I mean, you're right. The Lone Ranger and Zorro they did, but those would have been licensed properties. But then they also did all the TV stuff. You know, like what was Clint Eastwood's Rawhide? You know, or what would the Rifleman? I mean, all those things. They had comics for all those things. Disney movies. You know, they were doing Donald Duck. They were doing, the Disney comic characters. Like I said,
the films, the Disney films.
Yeah, at least up through the 60s, right? I'm sure they did Robin Hood and 101 Dalmatians and those things.
No, I mean the live action films.
Right. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Scarecrow.
Yes. Ooh, that's a good one. Forgot about him. Yeah, so there's a ton. Pantheon's here. Leg Kick is here because Leg Kick is almost always here. Eric Boyd, and it says Dell covered a wide range of properties, including TV shows, movies, and more. As per this show, they also had their own line of superhero characters. That is true, but they were pretty lame. Although I do own on this little backdrop behind us is Nucla, the Atomic Man, or something like that. I do have that first issue. I just for some reason always like the cover. I don't even know who drew it, but
Nucla,
the Nuclear Man.
All right. That sounds like an SCTV character.
I know. Nucla, the Owl, the Fab Four, Dracula as a superhero. They also had a Frankenstein superhero, Werewolf as a super spy.
Fleda.
Maybe we're answering the question of what happened to Dell.
Yeah. We cracked that mystery. Lita.
Nordic Nerds Confused. I'd never heard of Dell Comics. Well, that's what we're here for. That's what Google's there for. If you just Google Dell Comics, the variety is unbelievable.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff.
Yeah, you could almost draw whatever you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, literally. Other than Marvel and DC characters, you could draw whatever you wanted, and pretty safe to say that Dell would have published it at one point. Pity Ma's here. Glitch. Robert Doan's Pills. He says, I feel like I haven't seen a Graybeards episode in a week. I know, it does kind of feel like that.
It's like a week, yeah.
Yeah. Lone Star Vipers here. Dale A. Zorro, I Dream of Jeannie. Oh, I Dream of Jeannie. Woody Woodpecker, Dell Comics has it all, indeed. Headless Bourgeoisie, Late and Gray. Yeah, we were talking about next week's episode, actually. So we were a little bit late. Blackjack, Nicholas Gear, Catalyst's Vault, Robert the Bruce, Sean Willits. He says, I'm drawing Mad Magazine style today while I watch. Anyone else love those movie parodies they did? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Jack Davis and all that stuff. Man, those guys
Mort
are good.
Drucker.
You're talking about movie parodies. You're talking about Mort Drucker.
Oh, yeah. The Godfather, Jaws. They did an episode of The Exorcist. I remember. Just every time he picked up that magazine, man, it was so. We always felt like we were getting away with something because we were pretty young, and it wasn't an adult magazine, but the humor was not always, directed. It was directed at a more mature audience, and we always thought like, ooh.
Yeah, and he also had this thing that if he parodied a film, that the actors or directors of that film wanted the original artwork. So it's almost like guaranteed he'd do something, and then he would sell all the artwork to, like Lucas or Spielberg. And
right, exactly. Let's do another Star Wars parody so I can get some money.
That's a nice gig where all your artwork is guaranteed to be sold.
Hey, speaking of Mad Magazine, you could show the cash grab cover.
Well, I will when it's your turn for show and tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan.
Pull your reins back there, Dan.
No. Hey, you know what? It's all about Dan. There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm never paying attention. So,
I saw it come up. I will share it. We'll share it in a moment here.
Okay. I just thought it was a good segue. That's all.
Catalyst Vault is
just waiting.
He said Mad Magazine, and Cash Grab is pretty much Mad Magazine if it was done today.
Yeah.
Imagine the field day.
Hold on a second. Didn't you mention Mad Magazine?
No, the guy in the chat mentioned it.
No, you mentioned it. See, this is like
the guy in the chat. Find his thing.
Okay,
bail me out.
All right. Marcus Killer Group, purveyor of all things pop culture knowledge, is here. Dennis Rodriguez. Let's see. How to Draw Comics by Dan Lawless. Look at that. He's in the chat. Apologizing for our lateness. Earl the Third is here. How about that? Jay Dredd. Michelle Bowers is joining us. Hey, Michelle. Katie Dids channel. Woo! Graybeard.
Hey, Katie.
Actually,
Sean Willits. You guys
watching the show.
It was a comment from Sean Willits. He said, "I'm drawing Mad Magazine style today while we watch."
All right, Dan. All right. We've moved on from that, Dan.
Yeah,
I'm trying to exonerate myself.
Okay. Bibliobob, we haven't heard from Bibliobob in a long time. Need to shave the beards, maybe look younger. Yeah, you know what? This is in support of Billy Tucci, who's trying to grow a beard, and I wanted to show him how it's really done in a very short period of time. And so I was like, I said, Shelly, what do you think? Should I get rid of this? She goes, no, I like it. I went, really? So,
Aaron, were you one of those dudes in junior high, like in 7th grade, you had chest hair?
No, but in high school, yeah. It didn't, I wasn't like, is that guy 24? What's he doing in junior high kind of thing? But in high school, yeah, I got to be
I'm still looking forward to that. Any day now. It's gotta be.
Yeah, I don't think I shaved until I was about 18. I think that was the first time I shaved. And then it was just like, this is done.
Yeah, no, I probably sophomore year in high school. I think I had one of those, like those stashes that, when you can barely grow them, but everybody
Yeah,
does.
that's what
It
we
looks
called
cool.
those basketball mustaches.
Yeah, I had one in ninth
Five
grade.
on each side.
Yeah, I had one in ninth grade, but I don't think I was shaving otherwise. And then I think by sophomore year in high school, I started shaving. Toshiro is here. He says, "Hey, Wonder Woman looks great next to my Uncle Sam. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you, Toshiro." Elemental MJ, Rand Arrington, Best Age Comics, N2 Paints is here. How about that? Katie Dead saying hey to everybody in the channel. She's like a bee. She's pollinating flowers. She's buzzing around.
She's the greeter.
Aaron, that was
extremely
visual.
That's kind of nice. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think. I'm
See,
trying to
Gary-
figure out if that's an insult. or
Gary
not.
took it to the next level. That's the problem.
No, I actually pictured her flying
Buzzing
around.
Well, she's got
Pollinating
blonde hair.
flowers.
She kind of golden,
Yeah.
honeybee
No,
kind of look.
No, she's quite the friendly gal. So that's all I'm pointing out. That's all.
Okay.
I'm pointing out. Jimmy Owens is here. Thanks for joining us, Jimmy. Blizzard. Let's see. John Porton. There you go. Stealth X5. That's what we were waiting for. Now the show can officially begin for $2. Thank you for the hello, Stealth X5.
Yep.
Oh, I just realized Katie calls people honey too a lot.
Yeah. See,
there you go. We figured it out.
There you go. Katie Did says StreamYard doesn't recognize YouTube stickers. See, now she's trying to embarrass me. Like, oh, Aaron, I know more than you do. Let me explain it to you. But that's okay. I appreciate it.
Well,
Katie.
Why is
I
it that
didn't know that.
when younger women call you honey, it's flattering, but when older women do it, like cashiers and bartenders, it's irritating.
Yeah.
I don't know. One time I was standing in line at a grocery store and there's an older cashier and they went through a couple people. She said, "There you go, honey." There you go. And when it came my turn, like, no honey. Like I thought, like, am I not honey worth? Am I?
Yeah. I was like, do I get a
where's my
sweetheart
honey?
maybe?
Yeah,
that's not.
I don't know. No, maybe I got a little more gray in my beard. The other guy was older, so
maybe
he got the honey. I didn't get the honey.
Art of Roy is here. Let's see. There's Katie again. Pantheon says, I have an idea for your third guest. You can invite AI. They can generate some drawings from all the best art.
In a few seconds. Yeah.
There's our special guest, AI. That's actually pretty funny. I like that. There's Blackjack, Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Let's see. I think I got every Skull Nasher. Randy Howell for $2 Canadian. We should do Dale Comics instead. We did. Didn't we? I drew Pitt on this show. I know I have. So I don't know if that was, I don't know what else Dale has besides Pitt. I mean, we could do Hulk, I guess, right? Hulk and Pitt. And then his early black and white work. I can't even remember the name of that book. I don't even know what that's for. I've said so much crap already, Marcus. I have no idea what you're chastising me for. Here's Pepe. Best name I can think of, Santiago Pellegros. We haven't seen him in a while. Chris Andrew, women older than? No, I won't go for that low-hanging fruit. Okay. He's probably going to suggest that there's very few women that are older than we are, I think is what he's getting at. Next week, Gateway Comics, all of them drawn with Holstein cow borders. Neil, it used to be Vic that would post stuff in the chat, and I never understood what he was talking about. You have taken over the crown of confusing posts. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know what that means either.
It's like you might as well be putting it in Latin. Wizard Sleeves, the one who constantly confounds Gary, is here. John without an H. Okay, I think we got her at Eves.
Did you mention Creative Faye? She's here, right?
Yep. You should do European. Look at Yves Morin. That is like, wasn't there like a great actor? His name was Yves something. Was it? Wasn't Morin, but it was Yves Montand or something like that. So I don't know.
He was a mediocre actor.
Was he? But he's legendary though.
I don't know. What do you mean legendary? Dan, do you know what he's talking about?
Yves Montand.
No, neither do I.
You guys. Stealth X5 for another year older today. Is that you or us? But happy birthday to you if that is the case. Yves just laughing about it. He knows what I'm talking about. No, Yves Saint Laurent. That's like a cologne or something. No, there was
that's an
actor.
Yeah.
Henry. See, Henry knows Yves Montand was indeed a famous frog actor. So a French actor. There you go. Thank you, Henry. Okay.
What do you mean famous? Famous in France? That doesn't count.
I can't believe you guys never heard of Yves Montand.
What does he look like? What was he in?
Aaron, please say that again.
Yves Montand.
Yves Montand.
There you go. Please pepper that name throughout.
I'll bring Shelly can do the French stuff, so I'll have her come in and say it. She'll know. Something just came out of my mouth, and I don't know what it was, but anyway.
I kind of recognize this dude. I'm looking at him now.
You don't recognize him?
I do. I think I kind of recognize him.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Okay.
Hey, there's a toy fanboy. Now everybody's going.
Endless bourgeoisie says chocolate bleu.
I know. Look at these uneducated audience. I'm so disappointed, Deb Koth-Schnelly. What is Dell Comics? Does it anything to do with Dell computers?
What are comic books?
Yeah.
That'll make you feel old, right? Well,
Dell
my day.
Dell in the 40s, 50s, and 60s was the licensing king of comics. They published everything and anything. So
didn't Dell, I could be wrong, didn't Dell publish Yak Yak? There's like 2 issues of all Jack Davis.
Yes, they did. It wasn't that? Was it? Yeah, that was Davis. I was thinking it was
all Jack Davis.
Who's the other guy from Mad Magazine? Harvey Kurt. I was thinking Kurtzman, but no, you're right. It was Jack Davis. Those books are hard to find. Yak Yak, because I think you're right. There's only 2 issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a monster. Says suck a leg, bluey, something like that.
Yeah.
Henry Bemis says Dell published the comics my dad would read on a long car trip as a kid. Well, that's because he recognized the titles. They were all movie, TV adaptations, cartoon adaptations. So. Yeah. Didn't I say hi to Creative Faye? Did I skip her?
You did.
Oh, I'm sorry, Creative Faye. I apologize.
She said I look like the guy from Home Improvement with my shirt.
The guy from Tim Allen?
Not Tim Allen, but the other guy.
Oh, the other guy. That guy? Oh, that's not very nice.
Guy.
That's not very nice.
It's
all right,
he wasn't that fat.
It's the shirt.
I don't think my guest. I don't think Karan's coming. Maybe he figured because I didn't send him the link when I thought I sent him the link. Maybe he thought I changed my mind or something. I don't know.
Maybe he just felt like you guys are just at last minute. I'm not doing that.
Well, I talked to him yesterday, so it wasn't totally. Actually, it was Monday. Actually, I talked to him, so it wasn't last minute. But I don't know these kids today. Okay, Gary, let's go with Gary first. And what do you got here?
I have shared the inks of this on Instagram already. I just wanted to show the pencils. Let's see. So this is that Superman piece that Graham posted, and I'd never seen it before, and I did a search and couldn't find the artist, and so I thought, well, maybe it's AI, maybe it isn't. So I went ahead and reinterpreted it to cross-hatching.
That's nice.
It's like 40s Superman.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Fleischer cartoons.
Yes.
That's what I really liked about it.
In the cornfield, that's cool.
Yeah, standing in his cornfield. I guess he's pondering his future as Superman. I don't know.
I don't think you had enough cross-hatching on here, Gary. I think you need to push yourself a little bit more.
Shit. Wow.
So are you?
Love how you did it. I love how you did the straight lines across the
Yeah.
the chat. You know, the costume body part to create the blue.
Yeah, that's the trouble with blue and red. The values are the same.
Yes.
Yes.
Bring it
Very
down
dark.
into gray. They're the same, and
Yep.
so you have to make one darker than the other. So that's what I was doing here. And then in the painting, it's very dark on the legs because of his shadow. And so I
Yeah.
thought, well, there's a lot
Good
of
to see he's
tonal
got a
value
package.
there. Yeah.
Did you guys see this? Did you see the statue?
Yes.
of Green
yeah.
Lantern? Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
gosh. They took it out. He's got nothing.
I know they could have at least just rounded it a little bit, just to, you know.
So
You see the muscle underneath, like in a woman, you see the muscle, the butt muscle, like
Right.
through it. There's a gap. There's nothing.
Sorry, Gary. What were you saying?
Dan got sidetracked there.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned it might be AI. I also posted this on Facebook. Some people, just the very concept that AI is involved, they lose their minds.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
I had people demanding that I take down the artwork. I mean, that's how emotional they get. I mean, people that I didn't know, people that I, had no bona fides were telling me what to do with my artwork.
Well, wait a minute. Were you saying that you thought that the original image might have been based off AI, or that your ink drawing, were you trolling and saying that your ink drawing was AI?
No, the original painting might be AI. And then a lot of people confirmed that it was, and they gave me the history of the piece. But I didn't know any of that.
Who did it? Wait.
No, someone, we don't know who, but it's
AI.
It's pretty much confirmed that it was AI.
Okay.
But I didn't, know any of this information until after I posted the piece. So people coming in and telling me I should take it down because it's based on AI.
Like a bunch of retards, says Keith.
Yeah.
Politically correct.
Yeah. Stuff went flying through my head of what to say about them, but you hit the nail, Aaron. But I would say 99.9% were very favorable, so I tip my hat to them.
Well, I think it's only fitting that you're ripping off AI.
Right.
That's kind of
the
irony of
when
it
it comes down to it. I mean, unless you are blatantly taking an AI image and claiming you drew it, unless you're doing that, AI is a tool, just like a pencil, just like, ink, just like a computer. It's a tool. And as artists, if we don't abuse that tool, then there's nothing wrong with using it.
I disagree. Spambot says Gare AI Mart AI has been in front of us all along. It's the whole thing is fake.
But I mean, what's the difference between using a photograph as reference or using AI as reference, Aaron?
Well, it depends on what you mean by photograph as reference. If you're tracing a photograph.
No. I mean, just using it, like if you're,
well,
let's say you have a picture of a battleship. What if you can't, and you need to draw a battleship in a story, but you don't have any, you can't make up a battleship. So you want to see a photograph of one. What if you can't? So you AI one. What's the difference?
Well, you're talking about like taking a photograph of a battle and
just using it as reference
and pasting it in the drawing.
No pasting.
Well, because AI then is drawing it for you. Even if you're using a battleship as reference, you're still doing the work.
I'm not saying using the artwork, the AI artwork in your story. I'm saying using it as like photographic reference.
Oh, I see. Pulling up an AI image and using that as reference.
Yeah, the way you would use a photograph.
Yeah, I got that like 5 minutes ago. Here.
Oh, shut up, Dan. I'm not even going to share your art now.
I'm not saying use the AI.
Okay.
Just like I wouldn't paste in a photograph unless you're doing some special effect
No,
thing.
I mean, I agree. There are some people are getting some really cool AI images now. And, you know, if you wanted to say somebody did a cool dragon, or even like I've seen like barbarians, like guys doing like Conan type barbarian stuff that looks, I mean, it looks, I have to admit, it looks really, really cool. But I think there's just this sort of, you know, Terminator fear of this, that it's going to take everybody's job, which is absolutely going to happen.
I know.
So
Well,
we
I mean,
should.
people were saying the same thing when computers started to become a tool in art. People were saying, remember the big panic over over.
Yeah, but the difference with AI to me is that it allows people to create artwork that have no artistic ability or training and haven't worked their entire lives to, you know what I mean? It makes it.
No, I agree with that, and that's what I mean by using it responsibly.
Well, yeah, but you know, people, that's not going to happen. People,
But I mean, that's not something anybody
look at
controls.
this.
But if you use it,
think if Dan had actually drawn this, how much better
that's true.
we would appreciate it than just this AI image he created.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dan, go ahead.
No. I'm just saying, it's if we use it as a tool and not as a crutch, just like anything else. That's my point.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that you're saying they were afraid of computers. I think they had a right to be afraid of computers. Computers are doing it now. I mean, the final finish is excellent in a lot of ways. You know.
Yeah,
that's a tough thing.
Hey, they're already talking about figuring out ways to program AI to like make decisions and things like that. And I'm just like, this is getting scary.
Yeah. Well, the thing that bothers me about it is, I'm waiting for these lawsuits. They got to be coming soon, because to make an AI, you have to get the data from somewhere, and that means somebody's picture is being taken. I feel like you create the image, you own that data, and if someone's using that data, they're not changing the data. The data goes into their program, and makes itself a finished piece, and it's like someone else rendered that, someone else made that thing look realistic. So that's the thing that I think that I would hope to happen. So.
Yeah, well, I think DC, didn't some cover artist do a couple AI covers, and then he was outed, and then DC pulled the covers and fired him basically.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is still sort of there is in the art community, there's obviously a big.
But there's always been shady artists in the art world, like tracing somebody else's art and then claiming it's yours. I mean, that goes back a long time.
Well,
so
you don't have to talk
about
Rich Buckler like that on the show, Gary. You don't have to make. Sorry.
Another thing too, I'm kind of wondering, and people have theorized this too, that what happens when the AI starts to take the mistakes, because eventually it makes mistakes, and those mistakes go. Right now, there's no mistakes out there taking all the information, which is right. But now, when the mistakes happen, will those get flown into the program, and it'll self-destruct itself?
Like Star Trek, where Kirk goes, "You're a machine. You're hurting the body," and it goes, "No," and starts smoking.
Something like that. Yeah.
Wasn't that pretty much the plot on every Star Trek episode?
Well, pretty much. I was actually making that joke on a landing party show. That there's a lot of episodes where Kirk outsmarts a computer.
Yeah. Yep. Well, if you say to the computer, this hand has 6 fingers, and then you say it again and again, eventually the computer starts to say its own thing. Like, it does have 6 fingers. The hand has 6 fingers. You know what I'm saying? It could get corrupted in that way, perhaps.
Headless Bourgeoisie taking a shot at Phil Jimenez, saying that Phil AI'd George Perez. Sorry, Phil. That was funny, though. Dan, tell us about this cover, will you?
Okay, this is a cover for Cash Grab 2 by Cecil. And if you know anything about Cecil, he is a really funny guy on the internet. And this is, I would say, like, it's a good example. Say it's Mad Magazine modernized. Imagine Mad Magazine, what they could do with stuff today. Well, Cecil's doing that. And so it's everything goes. But it's the thing is, actually, when you look, it's not as crazy as you might think, it is satire. It is commentary on the craziness of our society. And that's what good satire is. So like, and then this example, I mean, this cover is a great example. Cecil had this idea because, the crazy idea that Trump's going to be an emperor, and everything's going to be like The Handmaid's Tale. Well, he thought, well, let's make them all The Handmaid's Tale and Trump's the emperor, So it's really ridiculous, over the top,
This storytelling behind this scene here, I think, is equivalent to somebody that's saying that they like to buy Playboy for the articles.
I think in all honesty, that Trump face is next level good. You really nailed it. So
thanks. Yeah, he's got looks like the emperor, right? Yeah, he's
got the.
It's funny. They always draw every time that these people make fun of Trump. They always draw his body as fat, which it most likely is. I thought I would troll him a little bit by making it just ripped as can be.
Oh, dude, this cover is the ultimate troll. You're trolling so many people with this at one time. It's pretty amazing.
So, there's what looks like a very famous singer handing him his McDonald's. And then we got Peanut and Fred. The government, put to death. In other words, and then there's another. People think this person looks like Carrot Top. Some people think this looks like Kathy Griffin. I don't know who could be. But,
we know who it is.
And there's a man. Now the funny thing too about this whole cover was a lot of it was created on John's channel. You can find it in my Twitter feed. I had a link to it at one point. And so everyone in the chat, and Cecil and John and Shane are all going, put that in there. Well, like John's like, put an eagle in there. And so, Cecil said, I said, what should this guy be serving? What should he be serving? And he said, McDonald's. And then they said, UFC belt, so it's so much fun. Everyone's throwing in all kinds of stuff. Of course, this is the hot button line here. I was like, Cecil, you want to do that? Are you sure?
My body is his choice.
So it's pretty bad, but
this is outrageously inappropriate and funny though. So
right, and that's what Cecil does in his satire. It has a point. He is mocking the nonsense of the crazy extremist opinions, and so this is what he does, and it's a lot of fun.
There you go, guys. Cash Grab 2. It's on Fund My Comic right now.
Yeah, it's actually the biggest selling comic on Fund My Comic so far. So that's cool.
There's other stuff too that people can back. You can back Fearsome by David Williams and EVS
Absolutely,
on Indiegogo right now. You'll find a link in the description. You can also back Wraith of God 3 Fear Hollow, which I've actually been working on pages. I'm going to show you like a partially penciled page. Wow, say that 5 times fast. Partially penciled page, and you can back that, and you can go to Dan's YouTube channel and subscribe, where he does all these great tutorials. You can go to my website, where if you missed Kit Carter, you can order from there now. So I do have extras. So check out the link in the description. Let me grab this real quickly here. I put up 3 inked pages of Wraith of God on the campaign page. So if you guys haven't seen those, go to the campaign page and check those out.
Is that sunlight coming in? You actually have sunlight there in Portland? Or?
No, gray sunlight.
Okay.
A gray cloudy.
Is that just a light on your?
It's daytime, but so anyway, here you have the witch battling this other dude. So as you can see, I go in with the not the non-photo blue, but I use the light blue pencil. Now, Art of Roy said, "Oh, you can get light blue pencils on Amazon." You can't. I checked. They have the blue pencil, and they have the non-photo blue, but they don't have light blue. And that's the one that I've been searching for that they quit making for some reason. But anyway, that's what I do, and then I go over it with pencils, and then of course I ink it. This is fairly tight, but not as tight as I would if someone else was inking it, if that makes any sense. So anyway, there you go. So that's page 4. Should be through page 6 on Monday, and then I'll have those off to the colorist, and we'll start showing regular progress on Wraith of God. It was like, man, fulfillment on Kit Carter was just epic. It took 6 weeks, killed my back. I just went to the chiropractor, and I'm going to go again in a couple of days. Still haven't recovered from that, but I finally back to drawing again. You know, it's funny when you do these campaigns, you spend all your time, you know, getting the book done, drawing and all that kind of stuff. Then you go into editor mode, then you go into publisher mode, then you go into mailman mode, and then you get to be an artist again. And I'm finally getting back to that artist phase again. GJ Martinez has got it figured out. Aaron Lopresti is a master of what he does. Man. So he's not only saying I'm a master, he's also saying I'm a man, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
That's clear.
That's been confirmed.
I was in doubt up until now.
Jason Wright will be coloring this book. The same guy who's coloring Fearsome.
Oh, he's good.
He's done other stuff. He's really, really good.
I love his stuff. His stuff on Elephant was awesome. Just really beautifully done.
Yeah, he's really, really good. So I'm excited to have him on there, and so the book will look really, really good. And anyway, so let's get to this drawing portion of our show. I guess Corinne Kaiser Stone is standing me up. I'll get him. I'll get back at him. Okay, so Dan, what are you thinking here on this wide world of Dell Comics?
Tarzan.
You're doing wow. Didn't even hesitate. Are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
I'll make sure my camera better work. Oh, it does. Look at all the scribbles on my butcher paper. I will be drawing Walt Kelly's Pogo.
Outstanding.
How about that? Huh?
Outstanding. I like it. Are you going to do it in his style or your style?
Well, I mean, I will AI his style the best I can,
Okay.
but you know, I'm not suggesting that, you know, Pogo might be smoking. You never know. I might throw something like that in there.
Albert smoked a stogie.
That's true. Is that the alligator, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta pull up my reference here. See, I was going through all this incredible stuff on. In fact, you know what? I'm going to share this real quick because people that are still confused about exactly what is going on here. Take a look at this. This is, I just Googled DELL Comics, and take a look at what came up here. I mean,
yeah,
there's Dracula as a superhero, Andy Panda, Lobo, Werewolf as a private eye, Tom and Jerry, Howdy Doody, Mickey
Space
Mouse.
Cadet.
Yeah, that's Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Look at that, Mighty Mouse, Thumper, Alvin and the Chipmunks. There's Pogo, by the way. Popeye. Oh my gosh, I could do Popeye too. Dick Tracy. Mystic should not be in there. I don't know why that's on there. Oh, John Dell. That's why. There's Nucla right there.
Where?
Right there. See him there?
Okay.
The first action-packed adventure of the greatest superhero on Earth.
That's not a bad illustration.
No, it isn't. That's why I remember this from seeing this in the Price Guide when I was a kid, and I've got a near mint copy of this, by the way.
Except it kind of looks like something's got to come out of his pants there.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. The explosion is that nuclear explosion probably not well.
That's some serious diarrhea.
Unfortunate placement.
Yeah. But look at this. You've got Looney
Well, he is Nucla.
He is. That's true.
Don't go in there. Don't go in there.
You can even go Sherlock Holmes if you wanted to.
He nukes those bathrooms.
There's Radior. Porcupine nukes the bathrooms.
Radio. Let's see radio.
Here's the Herculoids. Now, this is the Herculoids, the Hercules issue that John Buscema did.
The Steve Reeves cover?
Yeah, he did the entire interiors here.
Yeah, I love those movies.
Yep. And gosh,
by the gods.
There's old Ripcord. I could do Ripcord. Is that a television show? Must be. Larry Pennell and Ken Curtis. I don't know.
How many adventures did you have jumping out of an airplane? Like one?
Well, they were probably like, that was probably like they were, airmen that had different things they had to do every week, but it always involved them parachuting into some place.
Look at the guy on the guy in the picture there, on the one on the far end there. That looks like Gary. That's Gary.
Ken Curtis as Gary Martin.
Yeah, and I just like the Seinfeld bit where he talks about skydivers wearing helmets. It's like, what's the point?
That's there's something to be said for that. You got Wyatt Earp in there, Roy Rogers. Look what they did with Frankenstein. I don't understand this at all.
Which one is Frankenstein?
Yeah, right here. I guess he's like a superhero with a green face and white hair. He looks like Race Bannon with green face.
Yeah, he does. Why is only his face green?
I don't know. I don't.
If he's Frankenstein, shouldn't he? If he's green, he would be green.
There's different parts of him. That part was not as good, as fresh as the other parts.
You could go Flintstones. Yeah, his head is decaying faster. There's good old Tarzan. So you literally, as you can see, Buck Rogers, you could do anything and it would fit into the Dell Comics. But I'm gonna steal this pogo drawing.
Yeah, I applaud your choice, Aaron.
You used to have a Walt Kelly original strip?
I still do.
You still have that. That's excellent.
I never developed my cartooning skills. I just draw realistically.
You want me to go get it?
Yeah, can you share it?
Sure.
All right.
It's in a frame.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. Well, a long time ago, I was at
Galaxy far away.
Yeah, I was at a wizard show in Philadelphia, and there was some Warner Brothers artists there that were doing. They weren't animators, but they were product art people. And they were doing Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny sketches and stuff. And I was like,
I'm going to set up my drawing.
You just got to learn the model, And so I actually did a bunch of them using Chuck Jones model sheets because he's my favorite. All right, let's make Gary large here.
Can you see it?
In a good way. There we go. Yeah. So you got a mole who can't see.
It's a golfing bit.
What? Who is the guy with the looks like a snowman? What is he that's sitting there in the last panel? I always wondered that.
He's a porcupine.
Oh, is he? Okay. Yeah, Walt Kelly was just fantastic.
So it looks like he penciled this in blue and really rough, and then finished it in ink. But look at those textures.
Yep. I love Walt Kelly's stuff.
Yeah,
I love it. All right. Well, Dan left us, so I guess it's just you and me. I'm going to do some brown paper, I think. I think I will. See if I can adjust my camera without disconnecting it, there we go. I've got 2 lights on my table, and it gets darker every time I put a light on. I don't really understand why. There we go. Okay.
The camera's probably exposing. The camera's probably adjusting for the exposure.
I know, but it's like I don't have control of my camera, and it bothers me. I want to control my camera.
Did you get the super chat while I was gone?
Oh no. That's okay. Have I missed a couple? No. Okay, there we go. Sequential artist for $10. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Peter Piper picked a pack of partially penciled pages. Seriously, though, I'd pay real money for a Lone Ranger versus a werewolf illustration. I'll bet you would.
Well, that's Aaron. That's a potential commission that you can do right after you finish drawing your graphic novel.
I'm not doing it on this show, but
drop the pogo thing and get busy on this commission.
That's a horse, the Lone Ranger, and a werewolf. So, 2 out of those are okay, but
you're almost doing that with Wraith.
That's true. I could just sell him one of my Wraith pages where he's fighting a werewolf. It'd be the same thing, right?
Yep.
I have no Pogo is a possum. No, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that it makes any difference, but
No. Cartoonized possum.
yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, and Pogo basically was the straight man for every other character in the strip. So then it's like interesting concept where you get like one normal, well-adjusted character and then hundreds of wacky, insane friends, and they all live in a swamp.
But his cartoons or his strips were like political and stuff, weren't they?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So they were much more clever than you might think for a
Yeah, it wasn't just, goofy hijinks, even though there was a lot of that too, but it was, yeah, he did a lot of variety of topics.
Did he always have the same shirt on, or did he have the?
Yeah, it was always the striped, it's like a rugby shirt. I think it has a little collar on it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Little collar.
Gary knows his stuff.
Into Paint says, so the swamp is Comicsgate. The Wacky Friends are the CG creators, and Pogo is Gary.
Well, I mean, I guess, sure, we can go with that. Appreciate it if you guys hit the like and subscribe. Even if you don't like the show, we'd still appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe to it, because it makes us feel better. And, there's something to that, I think.
And comment with your best insult.
Well, yeah, well, okay. Let's be nice to the old guys.
Why? We got it coming.
You know what Clint Eastwood famously said? We all got it coming, kid.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Are you going to do like white on that, Aaron? So you're drawing on brown paper?
I don't know what I'm going to do, Gary. Depends on how much time we have left. How much time do we have left?
Got it. Well, depends on when you want to end the show.
Whenever I'm finished.
Okay. Well, if it's 4 o'clock, we got an hour.
Okay. Does he have it? Oh, he does have a tail. Oh, okay.
Pogo?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, look at. I'll show you right now.
Pogo? Well, okay. It depends on your reference. The early Pogo was different.
Look at that tail right there. Look at that tail right
okay,
there.
that's a very early Pogo. That's like in the first decade. And
So
like,
you're saying he lost the tail as time went on?
Oh yeah, I mean, okay. Pull up some Pogo reference from the 60s or 70s. He's completely different. He's more like his head is rounder, his nose is bigger. He's more he's chubbier, and he does not have a tail.
Now I feel like I'm using the wrong reference then.
I think you are, because I think that the one you're using is not what people think of when they think of Pogo, because he didn't look like that very long.
I think you're onto something. Yeah.
And Albert didn't look like that either.
No, he's really different.
Yeah.
But I think this is Kelly's drawing.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, I should say, I think this, when you start drawing a character and then you evolve as an artist, then the characters change, and I think that's what happened.
Okay.
It's interesting how that does happen, though. Like look at the old Bugs Bunny cartoons, the first
manifestation.
Oh yeah,
so different.
That's a perfect example of later Pogo. It was like this for most of the life of the strip.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna need to change then what I'm doing here.
Does anyone in the chat know how long Kelly drew Pogo as a newspaper strip? He did comic books. He did, merchandise. Pogo was in a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
And he was doing that while he was drawing the comic strip every day.
It was such a different world. It was so art friendly back in those days.
Yeah.
It was like these guys were making a fortune doing this stuff.
Yeah, they were those strip cartoonists were wealthy.
Unlike us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what happened there?
Where did it all go wrong?
Yeah.
Well, maybe when we entered the industry.
Yeah, it was downhill every
So
second.
you guys, if you had a time machine, would you go back and draw comics?
Probably not.
I don't think I would either. Although I don't know what I would do because there was
right. That's yeah. It was either comics or working in a warehouse.
Yeah.
For me.
If you could go back and say, okay, I'm going to live in the, say post-war, America, 1946, 47, whatever, the 50s. There was a lot of great opportunities for illustration, and comics was like looked down upon as
right.
sort of like that's where you started, but that's not where you wanted to finish. I think that's why John Buscema spent so much time frustrated. Because
he really was a raw talent for sure. Yeah,
he wanted to be an illustrator. He didn't want to be a comic book artist, but
the money was good back then. Like, right? I remember him saying early on, man. You could buy a house and stuff being an artist really easily, and then it's
but they still thought they were getting screwed.
Yeah, well, maybe they were. That's where all the the biggest newspapers were making tons of money. So,
well, you made your money, I think, at least later in merchandising, right? So, guys got paid well when they were, doing a strip that was in 1,000 papers or whatever. But when guys like Garfield's the first one I can really think of that just went crazy with merchandising, and
yeah.
What's his name? Jim
Davis.
Jim Davis just made a buttload of money. Of course, Calvin and Hobbes could have made
right
a buttload of money.
More money. Yeah,
he chose not.
What about Peanuts? They did some.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Amount of merchandising.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the television shows and the Peanut specials and things like that. That's I think when guys really started raking it in was on all that merchandising and stuff. But I guess that opportunity is still there if you hit it right. Which again, I can successfully say I have not hit it right.
You know what? If you're making a living in it, if you're
successfully say.
I successfully say that I am not successful.
If you can make a living at it, I'd call that success.
Well, there is that, of course.
Well, you have to define making a living.
Well, your income is coming from that.
Aaron, could you pull up my screen? Here's a Walt Kelly character that I recreated. Walt Kelly's imagination was just ridiculous. Who would think to make a hobo butterfly?
Let me take a look at this thing.
Well, it was such a funny I mean, because his stuff was so cute and cartoony, and yet it was so adult at the same time.
I like that.
He was combining those elements.
Yeah.
You know, what is that pulsing beat? Do you guys hear that?
No.
Come on, somebody doesn't hear that?
Is it gone now?
Yeah, it sounded like someone messing with a mic, and then it was a pulsating beat. Like I felt like we might have like a disco.
No, I couldn't believe you hear that, but that was some water running in the house, in my house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I didn't hear it.
I think it was the toilet running. Actually.
Um,
I live in one of those places, you know, like the pipe starts going by the toilet, and I'm like, you can hear that pulsating water sound?
Yes.
wow.
I thought
Changing the subject, I'm getting reprimanded in the chat. Comics Legend is saying no more recreations. We want to see your original work, Gary. Well, Comic Legends, you don't pay my bills. Oh, shut up.
shut up, shutting up. Oh my
You guys sound like David Williams.
God. I know. Well, fill in for David when he's not here. Well, there is that, you know, I mean, you cannot, especially with us, you can't really separate that sort of, well, I'll speak for myself. You know, you can be an artiste and then you can be a commercial artist. And I'm a commercial artist, so I'm always looking to sell whatever I'm drawing. And so you want to think, okay, well, what are the most people, you know, interested in that I could draw and convince them to buy this from me?
Right.
You know,
And I do the same thing if I want to experiment with a technique, you know, when I'm cross hatching or splattering or whatever. Okay, like that splatter Catwoman that I did, or no, splatter Batman that I did. I just thought, I wondered if I could do an entire piece with splatter just to see if I could do it. And then I thought, okay, I should probably try to sell it. So maybe I should do it on a character that people like.
exactly.
And so, yeah, Batman. People love Batman. And so that's, yeah, you're right. So a commercial artist, you have to think that way. You can't, like, if I decided to do a portrait of Xavier Cugat and splatter, nobody's going to buy it.
I don't even know who that is. So, Gary getting a little intelligent here on the show, and
he was a very popular band leader, and he ended up marrying Charo.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
People
Yep.
are like, "Who's Charo?" But I know who Charo is.
I know who Charo is.
She's the Gucci girl.
Yep. And that was pretty much her only talent, and she was rich and famous for it.
Oh man, that is
No, actually, she was a good
stuff.
entertainer. She could sing and dance, and you know, I mean, but that's what she was known for.
She had to have done something.
Yeah, she had talent.
We just never saw any of it because that's not what
No
she
one
had on
was looking at
TV. It
talent.
was never about that.
She had two talents.
Very big.
Best name, yeah, she did. Best name I can think of says, "I didn't expect to learn things on this show."
Neither do we.
Hey, no. This show, a lot like with my Aaron Live show on Sundays, is all about education. That's what we're here for. I don't know how I'm doing on this, but you know.
Speaking of education, I have to pull back to show this.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute here. Hang on. Let me give you full screen treat. So that's the artist edition that we had been talking about.
It's huge.
It's massive. It's bigger than the normal ones. And it's got the entire Killing Joke story in it, and I'd say a third of it are covers. Look at this double page Camelot. Let's see if I can unfold it. Bear with me.
I think Ethan would go bananas over that.
Yeah, double page Camelot, inked by Poland.
Jeez.
I mean, there's just tons of stuff like that in here. It's ridiculous.
So it's not just black and white. I saw some color in there. Yeah, you can really look at his ink lines.
Yeah, I've never seen this one. There's a bunch of art here that I've not seen.
Really?
Yeah. Like, have you ever seen this one?
Now I have to get. No, I haven't. No,
Wow.
was that
That's
an
weird.
Animal Man cover or something?
Animal Man, yeah.
Ha!
Oh, it could have been a cover for Animal Man then.
All right. So I had to put that on the old credit card.
Now, where? Who?
Okay, Aaron, you can.
Is that on Amazon or something? Where did you get that?
Where did I buy it? Things from Another World.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and actually they sell that at a discount. It's a $225 book, I think, and I got it for $180 at Things from Another World. But they have to special order it, so it took 3 weeks to get to me.
I wonder if you get that. You probably get that on Amazon.
I haven't seen it on Amazon.
Who's the publisher? Gary's
Graffiti.
He's gonna throw out his graffiti. I didn't even know they were still in business.
Yeah.
Gary,
They
did you
do
ever try this
specialty
technique
stuff.
here with the rolling the kneaded eraser?
I have not tried that. I am going to. I've not though. Bud Plant also has it.
Hang on a second. What are you doing, Dan?
I sketch it out, rough it out, loose lines. Then I take my kneaded eraser, here's it right there, and roll it right over the thing. And what it does, it takes up all the pencil, but it really leaves. So you know how when you're erasing, sometimes you're erasing you lose some of the line work.
Yeah.
Accidentally. This you don't lose anything. You just you see it all.
So I could do that over an inked page.
You could do it over your pencils, and then you don't have it's all, the construction's all there pretty good.
Yeah, you can still see the lines. I do the same thing with a kneaded eraser, but I don't roll it like that.
Right.
I just wipe it over.
Yeah, which is kind of fine. That's good too,
It also cuts way down on the pencil smearing when you do that.
Absolutely.
Why do I not know these things? Why am I so uneducated in the
Well,
art?
I mean, it comes from necessity. It's like all that graphite on my hand that I know I'm tracking all over the paper. It's like, how can I cut down on that?
I learned it somewhere in art school, I think.
I went into Gary. Do you remember in downtown Portland, like at the what was the name of that little mall area there? But there was an art supply store called Art Media.
Yep. I used to. Yeah, I would go there. That was my first choice,
Right?
Because of their inventory, but their snobbery was.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Their snobbery was epic. I went in there one time.
Yeah.
I knew, because I went in there pretty frequently because I was working in a commercial art studio down in John's Landing, and so whenever I went to the Galleria. That's where it was, out on the backside of the Galleria.
Right, Galleria. Yeah.
And I would go in there and get art supplies. So these, and there was this one older woman, probably, I was in my early 20s, so she was, had to have been at least in her late 30s, maybe early 40s. And I would go in there looking for something, but I never knew what it was called, right? And
just like today.
Yes. And this woman would mock me mercilessly for being so uneducated about, the art stuff. And I finally told her, I said, yeah, I mean, I know what it's called, but at least I'm doing it for a living. And
You actually said that to her?
yes,
Good for you. You're my hero.
that was the end of that.
Okay, Aaron, get ready.
Oh no.
Katie did says, see, Aaron, this is why Dan is so cool.
What?
What?
Dan. the eraser trick.
Oh, okay.
What?
Only the cool people know about the eraser trick. I guess.
Katie, I didn't want to do it, but gosh darn it, I had to.
I think she realized she's been being just too nice to you, Aaron.
I don't think that's
It
true
was
at
time
all.
for just to, control the flow a little bit on the compliments.
I don't feel that way at all. See, that's the thing.
Jimmy Reyes is in the chat, and he says, "Hey,
Uh-oh.
Jimmy." Jimmy says that Sylvester used that kneaded eraser technique.
Well,
I didn't get it from him, I made it up all myself.
How in the world could I have been in an art studio with like 10, 11 other guys and never known this?
I don't remember anybody doing that. I don't remember. We all use those hard white erasers.
Yeah.
Now I started using kneaded erasers. I used kneaded erasers in art school, and then I stopped using them when I started working in comics, and then I started using them again later and realized that they're good for erasing over ink because they don't pick up as much.
I used to use those when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But then quit using them. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know why I stopped, because I think everybody was talking about, you got to use this
Yeah.
hard, white eraser, and then okay.
That's right. You guys know what you're talking about. I want to be like you.
Yep.
Yes, I was never in a studio I was just in my basement, and no one there to tell me.
Oh, that's a studio to a lot of people.
Yeah, Phil's in the chat too. Hey, Phil.
Hello, Phil Diaz.
Okay, somebody's asking me about my sound effect, so I'm going to break it out for self.
Oh,
There we go.
you do have a trumpet, or what was it? Was that trombone? What's that called? Still 5 for $2. Any corn dog news? I don't know if there's. Are we ready for? Well, we'll give it. We're almost ready. Well, we can go ahead and do Gary's beef if you're ready, Gary.
Is that what he's asking?
I don't know, but he wants to know if there's any. We can't barely hear you. What happened to your?
Oh, hold on a second. My trumpet.
Yeah, your trumpet shut down your mic.
Yeah, give me a second.
Pushed it to the limit.
Wow, my mic went down from 50% to 10%.
That's right, because it couldn't stand the.
It couldn't stand. It couldn't stand the trombone. No, I think he's wanting any corn dog stories. I don't have any. I've been kind of laying low on the corn dogs, getting ready for the Christmas feast.
Would you include corn dogs in your Christmas or Thanksgiving?
I think they would serve as an excellent hors d'oeuvre.
I think so.
Oh, can you imagine?
I mean, okay, you got you're smelling the aromas of the traditional, Christmas roast beast while you're watching Nebraska getting,
Hey now. Hey now.
behind the woodshed, and then somebody walks in with an appetizer of a plate piled up with corn dogs. Wouldn't you be excited? I
might be. I might. I gotta have mustard on them because you gotta counterbalance that sweetness with, you know, a savory.
Yeah, I agree. But you know, some people disagree that you only can use mustard on corn dogs. I think you could use anything you want.
Well, yeah, but you put ketchup on there, you got sweet on sweet, and then it's like it's too sweet.
Yeah, I agree with that. But sometimes I will add a little ketchup with the mustard.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. So when I'm you know feeling dangerous.
I mean, I didn't really have much respect for you before. Now I have none.
The little shred of respect is gone.
Oh, of course, I mean that in the most positive way. Now, the mini corn dogs with dipping sauce, very festive. Now, those don't have sticks in them. The minis, right? They're just kind of like.
Yeah, I don't really consider those corn dogs, but those would make good appetizers too, because they're those minis are bite size.
Yeah, I think we're on to something. I kind of suddenly I want to become a newspaper strip artist. Is it too late? Do you think? Is that ship sail?
Is it too late? Well, it's that's probably one of the hardest gigs to land in all of art.
You could become a stripper artist.
I don't think I could. I think I had a better chance of landing a comic strip. Oh my gosh.
That's like being a sandwich artist. You know,
What do you mean, someone who makes sandwich or someone that goes around with a sandwich sign?
I suppose either one would be fine.
You know, that really is true what you just said, Gary. That was like the hardest thing in the world would to get a newspaper strip.
Well, I mean, how many slots are available?
Well, and that's the thing, right? And it's like I would wager that getting a new strip approved,
It's almost impossible.
it'd be like trying to get a movie funded or, you know, approved in Hollywood.
No, even harder because there aren't that many spaces for comic strips in newspapers. It's
That's the
very
interesting
limited.
thing.
And
But
then
wouldn't they try them out though from probably often? New ones?
no, they don't, because that they like to use characters.
Okay, hang on a second. Katie did for $2 says missed stealths and my super chat, Aaron. That's not my responsibility. That is Gary's responsibility, Katie. And Gary missed it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's not Aaron's responsibility. So I blame me.
Katie for $2 says she's the honeybee. There you go.
Yeah, I missed that. I didn't see that at all. Sorry.
Oh my gosh! Look at this one.
I didn't see that one either. Sheesh.
Is that that's chocolate candy bar, cheeseburger, lemon, pancakes, Swiss cheese, French fries. What is that?
Looks like what? 2 hot dogs?
I know,
don't know.
but it's because
2
it's not
tacos.
tacos. Okay. And then I guess a piece of candy, cake, slice of cake, a birthday cake, coffee, and then bacon. I don't think there's anything on that list that I wouldn't eat. And I probably would. I might be convinced to eat it in that order too. Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah, I was off the broadcast for a couple of minutes when I was looking for that hobo butterfly piece.
See, that's the thing. That's what really irritates me. You've got one job, and all you got is an excuse of why you can't do the job.
That's not Aaron. That's not an excuse. It's a reason.
Oh my gosh!
I think Aaron, you set him up for failure there. Say, go get that drawing.
And make sure.
Yeah, setting up Gary to fail again. Anyway, yeah, so there aren't that many slots open in the newspapers for strips, and they're not looking for new strips. So if they put another strip in, they have to replace an existing strip. And that doesn't happen very often.
It is an interesting thing.
It's not like a movie. For them, a movie company to make a movie, they have to remove a movie to do it.
That is an interesting concept, because you're right. They would have to, like King Features would say, okay, we're going to have to pull something.
Right. They don't create, because a newspaper real estate is extremely valuable.
Or at least used to be.
Yeah, it used to be.
I've often thought of doing like Kit Carter as a daily strip, like on Pantheon Patreon or something like that.
Are they still printing newspapers? Really? Actually?
I honestly don't know if they are or not. I think it's all online.
That's what I thought too. It got to be.
You don't like still get a newspaper, do you, Gary?
No.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does.
And even when they published newspapers, I didn't read them. Used to get the Sunday, and I just read the comics.
Well, no, if you remember, the Oregonian had a entertainment section.
Yeah.
That had like movies and stuff and reviews, and I'd read that too.
Yeah, I was in that a couple of times.
What do you mean you were in it?
They came to my house and they took pictures of me acting like I was drawing.
I got that. Actually, I was in one Oregonian feature, and then I was in a couple of like smaller ones, like the Hillsborough newspaper, or the Beaverton newspaper.
Yeah.
It was the Valley Times or something like that, I think.
Did either of you ever speak to elementary school kids?
Yeah, junior high was horrible.
Okay, yeah. I had an acquaintance that was a 5th grade teacher, and he asked me to come into the class and speak. This is the first time I'd done anything like that. So I thought, okay, I'll just talk about how I got into comics and what you need to do to pursue that as a career, and stuff like that. And then
I've done stuff like that.
Yeah, when I was done, are there any questions? And one kid raised her hand and said, "Yeah, have you ever drawn any ninjas?" I thought, okay, I completely messed up what I thought this audience would be interested in.
Well, it's like you can't talk to them. You have to draw stuff for them. That's the only way you keep them interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I've drawn on, going into classrooms and drawn on the chalkboard, and the teacher was like, pretty young kids and stuff. And the teacher said, "I've never seen them so quiet. They just were mesmerized by what you were doing."
Yep. That's the only way to keep their attention. Even the junior high students.
That surprised me. They can't believe that you just sort of can make something like that,
Yeah. I talked to a high school class once, and somebody asked me about something tax related. And I went off on this thing for 15 minutes about Floyd and the teacher, and it was actually good information for anybody that right. Yeah. But the teacher came up to me after, he goes, "Oh, that was great. He could have talked a little bit more about art and less about taxes, though." And I went, "Well, whatever."
Yeah, and you're welcome for me coming in here for free.
Yeah. And it's like at any point during my talk, you could have said, "That's really interesting, but."
I think if I went to a school, that what I would want to do really is let me convince you why you shouldn't be an artist.
Right. Exactly.
And I'm going to talk and give you so many depressing stories of people who died in poverty that you are going to just never, ever even consider the idea. Become an accountant.
I do that now when I'm at a show and somebody wants a critique and is telling me they want to work in comics and how do you get into comics and all that. I didn't used to, but now I give them okay, let me give you the bad news first. And I tell them about the pitfalls and the companies and how little you make and no health insurance, no vacations, all that stuff.
Exactly.
And then I say, okay, that being said, If you still want to do it, then this is how.
Yeah, it's like my advice
They're
to
like,
you, don't
see you
do it,
later.
but
Yeah, because I didn't know any of that stuff. You know, it's like
well, would it?
I was like, my brother works for a hospital and he's complaining that they're cutting back on vacation pay, and I was like, vacation pay?
What do you?
What the hell is that?
But here's the thing: if
He's got like sick days and all this stuff, and it's like, what are you speaking Russian? What is a sick day?
If you'd been a young artist and asked somebody that, and they told you, "Don't get in the business, kid. You'll regret it." Blah blah blah. Would you have listened?
No.
Yeah, me either.
There was remember in art school, there was a teacher who basically said, hey, look, out of you guys, like maybe 20% of you going to make it. And the rest, not going to happen. Just said it first up. That was first class, first thing, And he was just trying to be honest, trying to look, don't, it just isn't going to work out for most people because most people aren't crazy.
But that's pretty true with any creative career, is that chances are you're not going to make it.
Yeah, music, same thing. Yes, of course.
Yeah, any acting, music, pick any career.
And a lot of times, it's not necessarily always talent either. It's opportunity at the right at the right place, at the right time, kind of thing. Yep. Who do you know? Did you
perseverance, endurance?
Yep.
Yeah, who you know, and opportunity. If you're standing in front of an editor and they need an artist, hey you.
That's essentially what
you got a job.
That's how I got my first job.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it was a combination of perseverance because I would just keep showing up at the Marvel offices and sneaking in. I literally snuck in half the time because I got to know the receptionist and she would let me in. And then I would just like walk around, and any editor's door that was open, I would go in and intrude on them. They'd get so annoyed, but eventually they give you something. Yeah,
I used to do the same thing at DC. I would just hang out. And then they get to know you, and then pretty soon they're offering you work.
Yep. Hey, can you draw this? Yeah, I can. Give it to me. I'll have it for you by Monday. Kind of thing.
There's a lot less thought into it than people realize. Sometimes it's just like you're here. Oh, the other guy isn't here.
Yeah. Well, most guys didn't care. I mean, the number one thing was getting the thing done on time and out the door. If you were really good, that was a bonus.
They would start out with they would start out probably looking, hey, I want to get the best guys, but then it comes down to, I want to get a guy.
Exactly. And you're that guy because you're standing right there with a pencil in your hand. I've told the story about that What the cover that John Byrne did, and it was based on a story actually that I had done in the book, and there needed to be a costume fix on it, and Terry Kavanaugh, who was the editor, was just like, I got to get this, got to get this changed. I said, give it to, I can do it. He goes, you can? I'm like, yeah. I said, just give me someplace to work. And, so I took some white out and some ink and fixed it, changed it to where it had to be changed. And, it wasn't really a job, but it was kind of one of those things where like, oh, I can count on this guy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, but yeah, that's a lot of that stuff. That's just how it would pan out,
Aaron, can you do me a favor and give He's a Monster the Cannonball?
Let's see what he did. I don't like to do that, Gary. It kind of hurts me to hurt others, but He's a Monster. You just wait till we start round ball, sir, and then we're going to be rolling with Nolan. That's not it.
No, it's
the mustard colored wearing hoodie badass artist. No.
It's I scroll. It's in between. Where'd it go?
It's like, this sounds like Russian roulette with these comments. Like, that wasn't bad.
It's in between Art of Roy and He's a Mustard. Monster says it's he's sandwiched in between Art of Roy.
I see Art of Roy.
He did 2 comments in a row. The first one
He says, haven't said that sorry.
No, the next one.
The next one. How about them Longhorns, Gary? What does that have to do about what is your connection to Texas?
I was wearing a Texas hat, and he gave me a hard time for it. So he's sticking it to me.
I honestly, I don't see anything wrong with that, Gary.
I was gonna say this is not about Darren. This is about
Yeah, I didn't think he would.
How's that my problem? Is what I think everyone's
not cannibal worthy.
I didn't think he would. Okay, hold on a second.
What are you doing? Okay. Stealth X5 for $1.49. So see, he gave me a super sticker, but I don't know what it is. I have to go on the YouTube channel to actually see the super sticker. But thank you for that $1.49. See, best name I can think of says, did Gary already forget the insult? It's making fun of you, Gary. That really bugs me. Actually, I am going to do something about it because I think we cannot continue to allow this kind of thing to happen. There you go.
I saw that one coming.
Yeah, I got to change it up a little bit. It's too. Oh, here. This is Gary. This is Gary right now.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
There it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's me all sweaty in a trench coat.
Yeah, great. Oh my goodness.
Did you guys ever watch that movie all the way through or anything?
Yeah.
Which one?
That's where they're throwing
Network?
their TVs out the window.
I think it's Network.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that movie? I can't remember her name, but the woman who played William Holden's wife, she's in just one scene where he comes home and basically, I guess, tells her he's having an affair, or whatever, or he wants a divorce, whatever. And they have this short scene in the kitchen, their little hotel in New York or their apartment in New York, or whatever. And she got nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, and she was like in the movie for like 5 minutes.
For one scene.
Yeah, for that one scene.
Okay. Henry Bemis says that's Gary at Fred Meyer when they run out of corn dogs.
I'm as mad as hell.
Yeah, I'm not going to take it. What do you mean? You're not going to take it. You have to take it.
We're out. Nothing you can do about it. Oh my gosh. I was on a kick a while ago. I was doing cartoon characters smoking. Like I did Fred Flintstone smoking, and
Yeah.
and then of course everybody pointed out that the Flintstones used to have cigarette commercials on, where him and Barney were just lighting up, man.
Mm-hmm. I remember those.
They were black and white. That was when the cartoon was still black and white, but that was good stuff, man.
I was just talking about the Flintstones with my brother. When we were kids, the Flintstones was on at prime time.
Yes.
And we used to come running when we would hear the theme song.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it was a great
Have you
show.
guys watched the Flintstones as an adult?
No.
It's not that good. It's okay. And there's nothing wrong with it. But for some reason, I don't know why, we loved it. Even my parents, we would watch it every week.
Well, it's kind of like Gilligan's Island, right? We used to think Gilligan's Island was pretty good.
No, I never thought Gilligan's
You
Island.
never thought Gilligan's Island was pretty good.
But I mean, with the Flintstones, when the saber-toothed tiger would put Fred out on the porch, at the end credits, and I was always sad that the show was over.
Well, you know what I could never figure out was what episode that was from. I'd always go, I've never seen that episode. When did they have a cat?
Yeah. But who's got a saber-toothed tiger as a house pet?
My favorite episode was the one with when Alfred Hitchcock moved in next door. What was his name? It was like I can't remember the character's name, but anyway, it was was a play on, it was Alfred Hitchcock, and they all thought he murdered his wife, right? And had put her body in this trunk and this whole, it was like Rear Window almost. And of course the joke was on Fred and Barney, but and then the one with Perry Gunite, the private detective, Perry Grant. He'd go, he went to the bar and go, rocks over rocks, and put it in a dirty glass.
Yeah, it's like that rock theme. They carried it like through everything, and they were very, very clever with how they,
Anne Margrock. Remember Anne Margrock when she was on? Cody Curtis. Oh yeah, good times. That was.
I remember. The only thing I remember, like with that kind of effect, Gary, was the Muppet Show. We would always.
Oh, I love Muppet Show
every week.
Yeah.
And I think the reason that one really worked is because the humor was written for adults. They were
right.
And so the adults were like, all right, look, we can watch this, because it's funny,
Yeah, I watched that as well. I think it came on. I was in junior high, and then through high school, we watched that all the time. Loved it because it was funny.
Yep. Well, I mean, Jim Henson's massive talent,
Yeah, and they had top guests.
Yeah, exactly. They had all the popular. They got everyone.
They were, yeah.
Everyone wanted to be on it.
Right.
It's unfortunate that Jim Henson worked himself to death. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
He worked and caught pneumonia, and then didn't get to the hospital when he should have, and ended up dying of pneumonia.
Do you think these? I mean, there
was. He was working.
Do you think there a lot of these occasions? Okay, it's pneumonia he dies from, but do you think that could be a little bit doing some drugs too and that kind of stuff? And
I don't know that.
He was a hippie.
Well, back then it was like when he died, it was like if anybody died of pneumonia, I automatically thought, okay, well, really they died of AIDS, right? Because that was what everybody ended up getting that had AIDS and died in the 80s, and so that's what I was wondering. But no, he got. Yeah, I mean they don't. If that was drug related, no one's going to tell you that. But the official story was that he just he worked all the time, never slept, got pneumonia, wouldn't go to the doctor, and then finally got so sick he had to go to the doctor. And but it was by then it was progressed so far they couldn't do it. They couldn't save him.
He's a monster saying that he lived across the street from Oprah.
He's bragging about that.
He says, "Did you know that he was from the exact same Mississippi town that Oprah?"
Oh, I thought
they lived across the street from each other.
That's interesting. Maybe Oprah did it.
Oh, well, what bit of pastor?
I know. Is that the implication that maybe Oprah is the one responsible for that?
Marcus is saying that his brother-in-law worked in Jim Henson's house. Worked in Jim Henson's house. What did he do? What was his work? In Larchmont, New York, and his house was a pigsty. Marcus, what did your brother do at the house?
Well, you know what they say, a messy desk is a sign of a genius.
Well, yeah, only messy people say that.
Well, look at I'm a genius, and my place is a wreck. So there's living proof for you right there.
Yeah, so like only bald people say God only made a few perfect heads, the rest he covered with hair.
I can honestly say I've never said that. I'm bitter about losing my hair. I will be till the day I die.
Hold on a second, Katie, an update. Wow, Aaron, this is starting to look really good.
Holy crap.
Oh, man.
Are you going to take that, Aaron?
No, I'm not going to take it. I think I've taken enough from Katie over the weeks on this show, and enough is enough. Let's see.
You do realize that's a compliment.
I don't know that it is. That'll clear your head, Katie. I want you to rethink that statement. What you should have said was, hey, Aaron, this is looking even better than it was before. See, that would be the way to do it.
See, now that's it. She was trying to
So if
compliment
she actually
you.
said that, Aaron, would you be satisfied that you told her what to say?
It depends on the tone that she took.
Oh, what do you mean tone? She's writing it.
I can sense.
There's no tone.
I can sense the tone. I can sense it. I know
sense the tone.
I know.
You sense that was riddled with sarcasm.
Exactly.
See, if I had tried to compliment you guys and it didn't work out, I'd be like, "Oh, you didn't like my compliment? How's this?" And I'd give you a compliment, all right. A compliment of expletives.
Oh man.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Yeah. What, glitch out, grew my hairline? That's pretty good. Katie did makes Aaron paranoid.
Yeah, stay away from that those drugs.
I can just see through the facade. That's all I'm saying.
Aaron the hippie, getting paranoid.
Without the help of drugs.
Yeah, that's why I never did drugs. I was like, man, I'm already crazy,
That's the thing. Everybody used to say, "Oh my gosh, you'd be such a funny drunk, Aaron." And I go, "I'm funny now." That's why.
Yeah. Why would? Yeah. Why do you have to get liquored up to be?
Yeah.
Funny?
Why? Yeah. I don't even. The one time that I drank was at a Halloween party at my apartment down at USC, and I was so funny. I was throwing up all night.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, boy, what a funny drunk Aaron was. Oh, I'll never do that again. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Katie did for 5. I gave your show high praise on my show Monday. Aaron, what more do you want from me? Well, I thank you for that. But if then why don't you invite me on your show, Katie? Why am I not on your show?
See, okay, Katie, that's what this is all about. It finally comes down to.
Stealth X5 for $2. Dan has got skills. Yeah, well, so do the rest of us, Stealth. Okay, quit. You guys need to quit singling out Dan all the time.
Dan's getting some love today.
That is a heck of a gorilla you got going there, though. I like that.
I got computer hacking skills, nunchuck skills.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
Nunchuck skills. Yeah.
Skills. Yeah. First time I saw that movie, I did not understand it at all.
I didn't either. It took me two viewings, and then I thought it was the first one. I just kind of sat there scratching my head, and the second one, I realized it was genius.
Yeah, I loved it from the start. I was like, this is so funny.
Yeah, Shelly and I watched it, and we were like going, what did we just watch? But then we watched it again, and it just got funnier and funnier. It's kind of like Big Trouble in Little China is the same way. It's like, am I supposed to be laughing at this, or is this just a bad movie?
I think you might be a little bit like me when you watch a film, is that you're looking for the story thread. You're looking for the, who are you rooting for?
Yeah.
Who's the hero? Those kinds of things. And if I'm watching a film that doesn't have any of that, I'm confused.
Exactly. Well, right, because you're usually a comedy is, it's pretty much spelled out, or a drama. They're all pretty obvious usually, and then you can kind of say, well,
right,
either they've succeeded in what they're trying to do or they haven't. But something like that was like, with a sense of humor is so odd and off the wall.
Every single character is wacky. There's not a normal person in that film.
But I'm amazed at how funny that movie got the more I watched it. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Katie did for 5. She says, I stream 6 hours every mind day. I think she means midday. For the 100th time, come by
every Monday.
Time.
She streams every Monday.
Oh, every Monday. I stream for 6 hours every Monday, but she starts at like 6:30 in the morning. So that means she's done by 6:30 my time. which means she's done by 12:30. I get up at 1. That's the problem.
Katie.
All right, I'm gonna do that.
I get up at 1.
Katie.
I get up at 1, and
get
I'm
up at
East
1.
Coast.
You
No,
get
no,
up
no.
when she's
I'm
finishing.
gonna do that. I'm gonna. Okay, if I go get like I don't know 10 o'clock my time in the morning, and you're not on, then I'll know you're lying to me, and I will. But we'll see what happens. It might change my whole disposition if I can get on.
That
Katie's
still
show.
might be too late. Is she on East Coast time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be too late.
Well, Sissy starts streaming at 9:30 East Coast time. That's 6:30 in the morning, right? But Sissy goes for 6 hours. So that's what? 3:30 her time, which would be 1:30 my time. So if I get in there, at 10 a.m. my time, she'd only be in her 4th hour. Is that right? Yeah. So it should work
We
out.
don't do math here.
But you have no excuse.
Well, we'll see. I'll go on and we'll see if she's there.
Okay.
Right? This could all be just a ploy to make herself look good during this show. And then, but we really don't know what the truth is.
So, and then we see the real Katie did on her show.
Right. That's right. We'll find the truth.
That was good on this show.
I'm still trying to figure out why she would ever want you on her show, but
You're trying to figure out what, Dan?
why she would ever want you on her show.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to blow you up next.
Why don't I ever get a cannonball? I work so hard for these things.
Stealth X5 for 2. You have skill. You have skill 2. Don't worry, Aaron. Thank you, Stealth. I appreciate it. See, Katie? See how Stealth reached out and lifted me up?
Okay.
Yep.
Stealth, you put Katie in her place once and for all.
Wait, I'm still trying to figure what Katie did. I don't get it.
Yeah, what did Katie did? Is that a joke? Were you making a little joke?
No, well, that does follow, but yeah.
Katie says that she posts the link in CG Room every week, every Monday.
Well, see, that's the problem. I don't ever go in there. I'm afraid to go in there.
Okay, you're opening up Pandora's box here, Aaron. Pray tell, why are you afraid to go in?
Well, if I go in there and find out all the drama that's going on, then I can't play dumb anymore about the drama.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So,
I kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, I kind of. But if it means,
I only read the chats that are talking about me.
I know,
so basically what I'm saying is I never read the chats.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, I'm still waiting for them to do ones that talk about me. Now I will go in there and find this link, this mysterious link that Katie speaks of. And,
okay, hold on. Okay, Aaron. Katie, you always knuckle under the pressure.
Oh, yeah. Katie for $2. Oh my gosh, Aaron, you're so talented and God's gift to the world. Wow.
Yeah, see, you can't get any higher praise than that.
Oh
Yeah,
no, she could have said God's gift to women.
Yeah. But see, I don't know that Katie really means that though.
Well, God's gift to the world is much, much higher praise.
Yeah, that is.
Okay, so what are you sensing here, Aaron, about that comment?
I'm not sure that she's being entirely sincere. That's I'm just.
Well, then I think you should. Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, she's mad now. I think you should go on her show, and.
She goes, I put a lot of love behind that super chat. Okay, thank you. I'll take it. I'll take it for face value. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Gary, we're almost at 4:00, man. You haven't done your gripe yet. Are you ready?
No.
You don't have one?
I do, but it's a long one. Because it's so long, let's save it to next week. Actually, next week is the
100th episode. So
yeah, we may not have time for it next week. It's a long one, and I kind of ran out of steam.
do you have a short one you could throw in? It's just not the same without.
Yeah, you don't have like a.
Okay, no, I could do a short one.
Like a stock photo, reference binder of.
Yeah, he's got to have some gripes. Okay, here we go. Here's what's Gary's beef. Gary, what is your beef this week?
This week my beef is ear hair.
Sorry. Go ahead.
That's a Graybeards subject. Whoop.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Any of you that are like under the age of 30, did you even know that ear hair existed? I didn't. But now it's become part of my grooming regimen.
Oh, thanks for sharing that.
Why does ear hair grow 5 times faster than the hair on my head? I'll, do my daily grooming and see like, okay, here's a couple of strands that I can pluck. The next day, there's 4 or 5 more. The next day.
Yeah, well, I think I can tell you.
I prune them vigorously, and I think they just grow back quickly out of spite. So do you think
I can tell you
scientific possible that ear hair can experience spite? I don't know, but it's I'm very, as you can tell, I'm very frustrated.
Dan,
I think I can tell you about this, Charlie Brown.
Okay.
Well, when you get older, you don't want to hear anything anymore. And your body's trying to figure it's a defense mechanism or so you don't have to hear what people say,
You're telling me I should just let it grow.
Yeah, because the body's saying we don't want to hear that.
Have you seen these geezers with like these bushes growing out of their ears?
Yeah, they're really they look happy, don't they?
They look happy. They can't hear anything. Fritzy Snitchel wants to know what's the biological reason for ear hair.
I just told you.
I think you may be onto something. Wizard Sleeve says, I'm with you, Gary. I yank mine out. Henry Bemis says, Gary's ear hair has a beef with me.
It must. Yeah, no matter, I mean, I could monitor the growth, 3 or 4 times in a day, and I still find something to prune.
All right, here we go. Glitch actually is bringing science into this. As people get older, testosterone levels build up and cause their hair follicles in the ears and nose to become more sensitive. This leads to the hair growing longer and thicker. Wow. Katie says, as a hairdresser, I tell you it's because God is punishing.
So it's my sinful life catching up to me.
Yeah, it's just like instead of the flood,
it's a flood of hair.
Yes.
Toshiro says, my wife gets mine while I'm trying to watch Graybeards.
Hold still.
Oh my gosh. Spambot says it stops bears from getting into your ears.
Bears?
Yeah. Katie says, I take my edgers and trim many ear hairs. I've seen some sheet that would make you gag. Oh. Well, see, that's interesting to me that someone that would actually spend the money to get their hair done professionally would have an ear hair.
Yeah, ignore the ignore the rainforest growing out of their ears.
but I guess you get all kinds.
I've had dreams where my ear hair has run amok, and I'm serious. And I wake up and I have to run to the bathroom and look in the mirror.
Oh my gosh. Folks, you don't get this kind of entertainment. I say that with a question mark anyplace else.
I had a great time in the Graybeards. Yeah.
Yeah.
God darn it, John Malin's got me saying Graybeards now.
Hey, come on! Don't you can't.
No, this is your show now.
The show that you're on.
I know, but I'm just saying he's hypnotized me and brainwashed me.
Yeah, see, you got to watch out for that guy.
Powerful, the hell.
What time is it, Gary?
It is 4 o'clock.
Dan, how are you coming with your rather elaborate drawing?
I don't think it's. I mean, I don't know how much time we think we have.
Well, I'm done. I've been giving you extra time because I knew you got. I'm just adding like mushrooms and stuff.
Oh yeah, you kind of done a little more of like a cartoony thing, so yeah,
yes.
It's a little bit.
But I got 3 characters, so it's like I thought maybe that would.
Dr. Ben is giving us an update on baldness.
All right, I want to hear this.
Okay,
I mean, yeah, he's got doctor in front of his name, so he must be right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The prophet Elijah was mocked by a bunch of rude kids who called him bald head, and God sent bears to eat them kids. Bald is biblically protected.
Whoa,
Yeah, he's right.
I think I remember about that. Yeah.
That is correct.
Obviously, that part of the Bible was written by a bald guy.
Yep.
Don't mock my freaking bald head. I'm gonna write this
right.
right. I'm gonna write this right into the Bible, man.
Well,
so the Bible's all true except for that part where the bald guy got a little like had it with these people.
I wonder if baldness probably not that prevalent in the Middle East back in the day. Everybody was quite proud of their hair, and I imagine
about it too. If you didn't have hair, how well? I guess you could cover with a scarf or something, but you could really get hammered by the sun if you didn't have that protection of hair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally,
that's right. Look at Samson. Look what his hair did for him. Oh.
I remember when I was a kid, and I was traveling with my grandfather. We were like on the freeway, and this was before the helmet law for motorcycles. And there were a couple of bikers, like, riding next to our car, and these guys had long hair, and some of them were, bald on top with long hair in the back. And my grandfather was like, "Look at that! Look at those long-haired, bald hippies. That's what they get. That's what they get for riding around in those motorcycles. Look at the wind has done to their hair. They're bald on top." And I'm looking at them, and there's a group of them, and some of them, had women on the back, and their hair's flapping, and I'm like, "Grandpa, those women aren't bald."
Not yet.
Like, "Oh yeah, you're right." I
never,
was like, 6 or 7.
I never liked that look where you're bald on top and you grow your side hair out really long, like Hulk Hogan or some of those guys would do. I think, dude, if you're losing up top, just shave it.
Yeah, but these guys
trim it really, crop it really
make
tight.
it symmetrical. Yeah.
These guys were grungy. They were, legitimate. They call them bikers. They were. They might have been 1%ers. I mean, they were tough looking.
All right. I'm going to call it because Dan, you're not going to get done with that for a while, but it's a great looking piece. We will, let's take close-ups here. So this is my
switch back
interpretation of Walt Kelly's Pogo and his buddies smoking in the swamp.
Okay, what's the backstory behind this nicotine fest?
Well, I think they're all sort of irritated. They've been asked to leave wherever they were at, they couldn't smoke, so now they had to all go sit
Oh, I see.
off by themselves and
That's
smoke.
the designated smoking
Yes.
area.
Yes.
Okay, I get
And
it.
but this is to me this is kind of a flex for me, showing, hey, you know what? I can do many styles. So
I see what you. So it's a two-edged sword.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I like it. I think this. I was excited to see you drop Hogo.
And Marcus Killiger says they're all with heaters. I love that. Just lighting up a heater. They're all grumpy like Aaron. I would blow you up for that, Marcus, if it wasn't true. Katie did for $2. I love it, Aaron. Oh, thank you, Katie. Appreciate that very much. You just redeemed yourself.
No, okay, Aaron. Listen.
Oh,
If
she says
someone
I
is-
would buy that. That's even nicer.
Yeah, Aaron. If someone is paying you to give you a compliment, that's a double compliment.
It is, Katie. The slate is wiped clean until next week.
That's great. Wow, I'm looking at this now. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Rachel Brinkley says, I see Aaron, Gary, and Dan in that picture.
Okay. Who's who?
But,
I want to be Albert.
Well, I got the guy with the big head's got to be me, right? I mean, and he's got hair. I got to have the hair.
Okay, so that makes Aaron the turtle. Church.
I guess it does make me the turtle, doesn't it?
Yep.
The only thing is,
fan. He said, "Good show. Posting regular comic strips would be a good way to promote yourself too." By the way, I agree. I like that idea. Wizard Sleeves, way to flex, Aaron. Hey, thank you. Pastmaster Dan says cigarettes represent an oral fixation. Katie saying, thank you, Gary. I don't know. What did you just say?
The double compliment.
Oh, okay. Yes, Katie, you're on my good list right now. Let's see how long it lasts.
Bought him off.
All right. Let's take a look. Dan, are you going to?
Sure.
Okay, here we go.
But I'll finish this later.
Okay, dude,
Right.
I got to be honest with you. That gorilla is crazy good. I love that gorilla.
Blurring on me here. Let me see.
Yeah, this could be epic.
Yeah, I'm designing it to. I really want him. When I color this, I'm really thinking about the colors too, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And when I go color on it, he'll be very dark, and he's going to pop out the other guy more. You know. Why
I
am
love
not
it.
I'm not getting a good focus on it though.
That hand, Tarzan is great, but that monkey is what's doing it for me. That face and that hand, I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't wait to see this finished.
The gorillas have 3 fingers and a thumb.
This one does.
That way, I think 1, 2, 3.
This is more of a gorilla man, isn't it? It's not really a gorilla. It's a gorilla man.
Yeah, I think there's the one figure is kind of hidden behind the last 3.
I think you should put another line in there just to...
Oh, look, it just cleared up on me. It was there. Now you can see more clearly.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's unfortunate it's not finished because you lose, but
I know.
So you build them up and then you tear them
down. Oh my goodness. Henry
Well,
Jeremy,
it's funny,
Great Gorilla Tarzan looks like Burn Hogarth.
Now, I don't know if it looks like Burn Hogarth drew it or if it actually looks like Burn Hogarth.
Yeah, that kind of does look like Burn Hogarth.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll finish this baby
I
up.
got a critique from Burn Hogarth. He was awesome.
Katie says Dan's the man.
Right.
Hey, Katie, now you're back on my hit list.
I always wanted to be a man. That's awesome.
Great piece.
Queen Mickey says, I like the knife. Everything else is interesting.
Well, I don't get that. The knife. What's so good? He likes the knife.
I don't get that.
Oh, wasn't that from was that last week or 2 weeks ago?
It was a while ago where we talked about interesting.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, it's a running gag. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mickey.
No, I'm just kidding. Katie. You're on the nice list again. Wizard Sleeve says, well done, Dan. Hope to see it finished next week. Yeah, I think we all want to see this finished.
Yeah, we do.
We finished tonight, actually.
Oh, excellent.
By the way,
That's
did I? Oh yeah, I showed you guys. I did show you this. You guys saw the sludge up there, right? That finished, colored, and stuff. Yeah.
Did we? No. Did you
I
post
posted.
it? I didn't
I posted
see
on
it.
Twitter.
Do you have it? That you can bring it up real quick?
Yep. Let's see, where did he put it?
While Dan is digging up his sludge piece from last week, you guys please hit the like and subscribe. That helps the channel grow and incentivizes us to come back next week. So,
Aaron, you'll like this. Creative Face says, Dan's Polish. You have to go slow for him.
Creative Faye, man, she just like
Slams.
she sticks daggers in you when you're
Body slam.
Okay, here we go.
But it's true. It's absolutely true.
Oh, wow. Oh, and you got the logo in there. That is so nice. I love that, Dan. That's great.
Yeah, I had fun with it. It's a little bit different for me. You know, I don't know what the what's different for me. The design. I was going to say something like this design I put in the bottom and stuff like that. I usually don't do designy stuff. So,
dude, I don't remember a scan of that. Will you?
I don't remember, Aaron, you drawing Sludge this athletic. He was kind of, he was
more lumbering. I know. I love this.
Yeah, this is more like a Jackie Chan Sludge.
This is more akin to what I would do with Garbage Man.
Yeah.
But I love this, Dan. Send me a scan of this, will you?
Sure.
Great. Thank you. Wow. Very nice. That's cool.
What do you mean by scan? I mean, send you a JPEG of it.
Yeah, just send me so I can have it.
Okay.
Like
the black and white. The black and white or the color?
No, the color.
Okay.
But
Dan, to have.
No, just make it big enough so I can like print it out and hang it up.
Okay. And I'm doing this all for free, you're saying, or what?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not going to sell it. Jeez.
It didn't take Dan long to learn from Aaron's School of Economics.
Yeah, remember who controls the super chat?
Got to walk to the scanner for free?
Oh my god.
That's labor.
Oh, it's already in your computer. All you have to do is just email me or
pick it.
Drop it in the I'm trying to accomplish saying I love that piece. I would like to have that piece as something I could look at. So
Dan, how much is 3 minutes worth of your time?
Yeah. Let's see. If he charges $100 an hour, what's 3 minutes? Okay. Anyway, everybody, thank you for joining us once again. Next week, I'm not going to tell you what's going on because we're working on it. We'll see if everybody shows up. But it is our 100th show 100? Next week. So it'll be an anniversary show. It'll be Christmas themed. Should be a good time to be had by all. So you don't want to miss that. As soon as I get confirmations, I will let you know. I'll post, but I got to get confirmations from people that are going to be. Katie says, great show, Aaron. See you Monday. Oh, you will see me. No, I'm going to get up early enough to bake the show. Marcus Kilgrove says $300. I don't know what that's for, but I'll take it. There you go. Brian Suddenly Old says, Aaron owes Dan Taco Bell for sludge. That seems reasonable.
You eat Taco Bell, you'll become
right, exactly. Okay, so thank you guys for joining us. There's no landing party tonight because Graham is out sick, but I don't know what you're going to do later for your YouTubing, but maybe next week.
Vicky says, awesome. I'll try not to make it.
Thank you, Mickey. Appreciate it. Wow. Anyway, thank you guys.
She comes in the last 5 minutes
and then just rips us apart.
Yeah.
Oh, she's brutal. She's brutal.
I want to remind everybody in the description of this video, you will find links to Wraith of God 3. There's some new artwork up there, so you want to check that out. Fearsome, that's David Williams and EVS's book. And Dangerous Dan Lawless's YouTube channel. Go and check that out and subscribe there.
And check out Cash Grab.
Website.
Check out Cash Grab.
And Cash Grab. There you go. I should have put that in there, but I wasn't thinking. Next time, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
check out my channel. It's called Cash Give.
All right.
If they don't give it, you gotta
love it, Aaron. Thank you, Katie. Did I get that? Good show. Posting right. Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. I'm going to look into that. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you right here next time on the 100th
Thank you, guys.
anniversary episode of Graybeard's Studio. Good night, everybody.